Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And you may have noticed that I didn't post a video last week, and the reason for that was my computer got a virus and was having some issues and wasn't working, so I had to take it into the computer place and get it fixed, and it took them a few days. So unfortunately I wasn't able to upload my video. So I apologize for that if you guys missed it. But I'm back and I've got a new deck, and this is called the 78 Tarot Nautical Tarot of the Water. And this is a really cool, unique deck. I'm actually going to be doing a review of it really soon. And each card was done by a different artist. So it's a really neat deck. I love working with it. Okay, so we'll start with the first card, which is going to represent Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so we've got Six of Pentacles. So we're starting off the week with the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles can come up for us when we're in need of help from someone. And it isn't necessarily help, like we might be in need of money, or we might be in need of like support or advice or something like that, but we're in need of something. But it can also come up for us when we're in need of something, but we might feel uncomfortable about accepting something from someone else. So when you know you need, financial support, or maybe you know that you need emotional support or advice, but you feel really weird about asking for it or accepting it if it's offered to you. So some of those issues might come up for you around the beginning of the week. An alternate way to look at this card is kind of the opposite. So someone might ask you for help or want something from you, and you might be happy to give it, or you might actually feel kind of weird about giving that help. Like maybe you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or maybe you don't want to get involved or something like that. So there's all different ways that you can kind of look at this card. So hopefully one of those perspectives kind of made a little light bulb go off inside your mind. So basically I think the gist of this card and the gist of the theme of the beginning of the week is help. And are you going to be giving someone help? And if so, how do you feel about offering help to someone? And, maybe it makes you feel more powerful to offer help, or maybe it just makes you feel really good to help someone. Or if you're needing help or asking for help, how does that feel for you? Is that something that's difficult, or are you good with accepting help? I think that's kind of the theme of the beginning of the week. Another thing that actually just popped into my head with this card, I'm noticing all these hands popping up from the water. And to me, it actually feels like there's lots of people almost like wanting your attention and wanting your time, your energy, your expertise. And that may feel, at first, it might be kind of an ego boost. You're like, ooh, I'm really wanted. A lot of people want my attention and I'm in demand. But after a while, it can feel exhausting. So just that's something to kind of be aware of, being kind of mindful of how you give your energy and your time away and making sure that it feels good for you. Okay, so middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, we've got the Page of Cups. And this is a really beautiful Page of Cups, actually. So the Page of Cups in the middle of the week represents, to me, this represents being inspired by something. Sort of getting that sudden blast of inspiration. And I feel like this is going to come to you in a way that feels kind of almost creative. So this is like some kind of creative inspiration. This isn't just a mere idea. It's like a feeling of being inspired by something. It's also a very kind of ethereal, sort of romantic card. And if you've been looking at the world through a sort of, what's the word? I want to say like cerebral lens, but if you've been looking at things kind of in an uninspired kind of physical day-to-day kind of way, this card represents a shift in perspective. So being able to look at the world through a more inspired, kind of creative, almost a whimsical sort of lens. And really the way that you look at things has such a huge impact on how you experience things. So how you interpret events and how you see things and how you understand people and why they do what they do, all of that is going to have a huge impact on how you live your life and what kind of experiences you have and how you feel on the inside. So I think the message I'm getting with the Page of Cups is that middle of the week is you're going to have a lot of opportunity to kind of shift your perspective and almost gain kind of like a childlike view. And some people might say almost like a naive, kind of romantic, naive sort of way of looking at things. But it feels really good. And then the end of the week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, oh, we've got this card that says Whimsy. And I don't know, I'm thinking that this is just one of those extra special cards. I haven't worked with this deck too much, so I'm not, I don't think this card correlates with any particular tarot card, which is kind of fun. I think this card is unique to this particular deck. And by the way, I'm going to post a link to this deck in my about section of this video, or the information section. So if you're interested in looking into this deck, you can do that. It's an independently published deck and it's really, really cool. So I'll put that link in the description. Okay, so end of the week, we've got Whimsy, and I feel like this card, the word whimsy and like the energy of this card really like kind of correlates to the Page of Cups. It's a very similar kind of energy. And that energy is very loose, carefree, and very like, well, whimsical, creative, you know, inspired, almost childlike in a way. Almost childlike in the way that, you know, and how creative and fresh it feels. So what it means for the end of the week and this weekend is that this weekend is a wonderful time to be, basically to be whimsical. It's not a weekend to be serious. You know, this isn't the weekend to, I don't know, organize your taxes or, you know, look at your finances and, you know, put your cookbooks in alphabetical order or whatever. I don't think it's a weekend to be cleaning, no vacuuming, you know, stuff like that. This is a weekend to be spontaneous, you know, don't make any solid plans. Engage in creative pursuits. You know, this is the kind of day where you might want to spend the day doing crafts. That's really going to be the kind of thing that really feeds your soul this week is, you know, create things, do some crafts. You know, you might want to, I don't know, go to a park and do some creative writing or something like that. Or I'm trying to think of other whimsical activities, even like baking cupcakes or something like that. But, you know, just don't overly plan things. You know, let yourself be inspired. Have a whimsical kind of weekend. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick, oh, I realized I only have 1 minute left to finish up this reading. So I want to quickly step back. And I also want to invite you to add your own interpretations. You know, like what does this card mean for you? Like what does being whimsical mean for you? Like how can you add more whimsicalness and more creativity and inspiration into your life? And put it in the comments if you have some good ideas. Like please feel free to put in the comments. I'm so excited to hear how people respond to that one, how people, you know, how you're going to answer that one. So overall, to me, it looks like a week of creativity, being inspired, not taking yourself too seriously this week, not taking life too seriously this week, and it just feels like a light kind of week. So I'm looking forward to it, especially after all my laptop issues and computer problems. I'm looking forward to like a relaxed kind of inspired creative week. So I want to say thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful week. You can find out more about me on Daily Tarot Girl.